U.S. Democratic presidential candidates are gearing up for their next big contest, Saturday's South Carolina primary. They will face each other just hours from now in a debate in Charleston, and that's where we find CGTN's Nathan King.
Welcome to the charming and historic town of Charleston, South Carolina. It does have a check and pass. 1 million African slaves were brought through here at the height of slavery, and in many ways that's still reflected in the state's politics today. It was also the first state to withdraw from the Union at the beginning of the Civil War. The Civil War started here. It's a state that Trump won by 15% in 2016, but when it comes to the Democratic electorate, 60% of the voting in the primaries this Saturday is going to be African American. So a very diverse and a very divided state. And we caught up with the senior African American Democrat politician here, Congressman Jim Clyburn, to ask him about how this race will be decided.
The voting patterns in South Carolina are reflective of what the voting pattern is on behalf of Democrats throughout the country. So if you look at how that is for this small state and sort of projected outward, you'll see about what is required for a Democrat to be successful in the general election.
Clyburn also points out that South Carolina is also the first opportunity for candidates to test their message with African American voters who make up a key constituency of the Democratic Party. Clyburn's endorsement could be the difference between winning and losing in South Carolina. He says he will announce his decision after a breakfast with all the candidates on Wednesday. He is widely reported to be leaning towards former Vice President Joe Biden, but he's also criticizing Biden's faltering campaign.
I'm not pleased, and I'm a little bit surprised that Joe Biden has not run a campaign, more engaging campaign. He's run a good campaign if you are coasting to victory. But if you're trying to achieve victory, you got to be a little more engaged than he has been.
There's criticism for frontrunner Bernie Sanders too, but it's the prospect of 4 more years of Trump that scares the third most powerful congressman in the Democratic Party the most.
It would be catastrophic. I think it will set in motion a process that will turn this country back a full generation.
And what about for African Americans in particular?
2 generations for us.
This is such a crucial race. It's so tight between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. And of course it comes just ahead of Super Tuesday on March 3rd when 14 different states vote on who they think the nominee should be. Whoever wins here in South Carolina will have momentum going into that all-important date. Nathan King, CGTN, Charleston, South Carolina.